Hello everyone, welcome back to NCHANZPLACE. I have been playing with AI for the past few days, I guess a week already, and I'm really enjoying it. I love it. I see a lot of potential to it, and this is specifically to Adobe Firefly Photoshop. I think it's first is the Firefly, where previously it was just online where you go to a website. I think you need to sign in with Adobe. They give you the access to the Firefly, and then you do this AI thing there. Now it's already been integrated in the Photoshop, and that's what I have been trying for the past few days or week already, and I'm really loving it. For this video, I'm gonna share with you my experience, my thoughts, even some potential applications for this. And yeah, and with this also I will give you at least an introduction to Adobe Firefly, or at least this Photoshop beta, and also example photos that I did that I really like, at least two of them. But yeah, I'm super excited, so let's get started. So when Adobe, I think, sent an email for the new Adobe Photoshop beta, which the Firefly is already integrated, so I tried it out, and it has this generate fill. I do know how to somehow like minimal masking, all of that kind of stuff. So I tried to refreshen again my knowledge on the masking and all of that, selection tool and all of that. And because of that, that's quite important, because from there you will be able to do the generation fill. So I did that, I tried it, I'm loving it, I'm incorporating the photos, it did a very good job. But the same as also with the Firefly, it has limitations, like for example, copyright, violence, I think death also, and also something like discrimination, all of that kind of stuff there is. I think Adobe gives you like this list. There's also some, I guess, tips as well, where when you, because there's two ways to generate fill. Either you let Adobe fill it, or you type what Adobe or the Photoshop will fill it. So when you try to type something in a text, so it's actually text to image, it gives, there's a tip where you don't give it an instructions, not an instructive prompt, but more of a descriptive prompt. Like instead of giving something like you want it to be red, add red, just put there red, or liquefied, you just, or add something. You don't do the like instructive things, you describe it more adjectives, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, so those are the limitations of that. And there are also some challenges as well, which in turn you really need to know how to do Photoshop. So for me, that's the challenge, because I'm not that good at Photoshop. But that being said, I tried it with a lot of photos. I have a lot of photos that I didn't post yet. And the two photos that I will be sharing is something, the first photo is something that I really wanted to see in my photo, in a photo that I really want, and then in a photo where the piece that I really want as well, and that's the Red Sonja. The other photo is something I was surprised in the sense that it really, how it ended up, the output image ended up something that is actually printable. Started with just the Red Sonja. Okay, mask everything, so you need to mask that. It's quite easy because in Photoshop there's already like a select subject, so it does that. But again, you also need to learn how to do the masking, the selection, and all that kind of stuff. So do check it out in some videos in YouTube to learn that. So I have like basic to that, and I applied it, I got the subject, and I typed the prompt is actually textured wreckage of a fantasy ancient ruined structure in the medieval times, with tons of broken burned wood, rubble, debris, and moss all around. So when I do that, I actually have a lot of images, background images. Unfortunately, I don't have those originals. I do have like an example where there's like the background, and I imagine like there's like a temple, broken temple, ancient temple at the back, that kind of stuff. But this is not the end one. What I did actually, I keep generating, and I actually ended up with an image that I would say is quite outside, because every time I have that tempo, it kind of doesn't look good because the lighting from red sun is quite bright. And so what I did, or what the one of the photo or the image is, shows that she's outside with like a broken like temple background or wall, and I love it. And I tried a lot. I kind of loved it. I wanted to show you the other options, but I guess I merged the layers already, and I ended with this. And from there I said, okay, let me try expanding the world, expanding the scenes, adding some stuff. So I added, like, I extended it, making it a more panoramic, and then ended up so good. There are some other options that is actually like I didn't like. Some I like, the generated one, so you just pick which one. This is the fun part of this. It's kind of random, so I love that. And then I keep adding and adding, trying out, generating some stuff from left to right, from top to bottom, and then I kind of expanded it more, tried a lot of stuff. Yeah, I mean, I just love, or I like the idea, like you just click and there's random stuff, and then you click. So basically from there I tried to create a world where it's like all rubble, and that's what I really imagined in my head for this piece. So I keep adding and adding, and until to a point I said it's just rubble, and I feel I need something. I need something that tells a story, and that's actually the snake. So what happened is I keep adding it, and what I also did is I get parts of the snake body, put it around, and generate something around it, and to let it look like there is a like snake being cut. Now it looks so good. But there's one thing that is something that I couldn't do for this image, which is I think it cannot be printed, because if you actually look closer, there's a lot of weird stuff going on. I really love this, how it turned out. But there's another image that is, I would say, really printable. The next image is none other than Gorax, and this for me is really surprising. I was surprised. I didn't really expect that it would turn out this way, that it would turn out printable. So if you've seen art, the art of Skinner, it has that kind of abstract look. I would say, I don't know if it would be considered contemporary art, but it has that feel, like it's very colorful, weird, and I love that. And that's how I imagine when I took a photo shoot of Gorax, and that's the concept, and that's why I have this colors, the color grading, and all of that. And when I did the AI for this image, I started it with the description actually in the for the background is abstract, gothic abstract liquefied melting reality. It's quite weird, but I don't know. And there's a lot actually of options. Some I like, some I didn't like, some look weird, but I ended up something like, if you guys remember when the Balrog in Lord of the Rings, when it spread its wings in front of Gandalf, with that one, it has that, but a bit of color and abstract, and I loved it, and I was surprised, and that was really good. And I was like, wow. I tried again and again, and I couldn't get this image. So I stick to it. I use this, and then from there I build around all the other images using the AI. And I kept the idea of abstract, gothic abstract. No, I think I removed the gothic. I kept the abstract liquefied reality. So I keep that, and that's what I use throughout the image. And from there I try to liquefy the green stuff in front of that head, and also try to meld everything. So the idea is like when Gorax creates the monsters, he kind of bends reality into like a watercolor beauty, something like that. And it also at the same time consumes him, and that's the idea where he's kind of melding also to this reality, and that's why he looks this way already. At least that's how I interpret it. So that's how it is, that's the concept, and it looks amazing. And from there I tried to expand it, make it like one to a square, something like that. It's also good for Instagram. So I tried to expand it, and now it looks so awesome. I loved it because the concept makes it more contemporary, abstract, and from this it is printable. If you look closer, it becomes more abstract, more messy. It's like you put in different colors and it's splashed in there, and it makes it messy, weird, and I love it. And I think that is actually printable for me. It looks good. I think I might try to print this as well. Let's see. But I'm loving this piece. I'm loving how it looks right now. It's really good. I think I really am gonna print this. Final thoughts on this AI tool. It's still for me a tool, not something that you just type in and then comes out, because one, there's a lot of restrictions, limitations, and all of that, and I think it's meant to fill, not really meant to generate out of something. You can do that, but every time I do it, it's very hard. That's the hard part. One, you have to have like creatively have words that describes what you want, but at the same time adhere to the limitations by Adobe. So all that kind of stuff. So it's really not that easy. So I still find it more of as a tool than just like a generating machine or AI. So yeah, I still find it that way. And the other part is I really don't think this is photography. This is not photography. And how I apply it is with my imagination, with words, and also with my photography. But I have to, when I do that photography, those photos, I should already have that imagination, that image in my head, what I would want it to end up with this AI. So with that good thing, I have that concept. That's why again I have the lighting set up. So when I combine both, I get these images. So I don't think this is like photography. It replaces photography. No, at least for this Firefly or Adobe Photoshop. For the Mid-Journey, that's entirely another story. I don't know about that. That is a bit complicated, but for this one, it just enhances what you have that you cannot do, like me. And then the last thing is, most of it is not printable, and if you've seen most of my images, they're not really clean. That's why the image that for me is printable is something more of an abstract, because it works with the photography that I have, meaning the image that I have, melded it with or integrated it with the abstract concept of that AI, what AI has generated, and it works so well. And that for me, why it's printable, the Gorax, the monster maker. But that's, I don't know, this is still beta. We'll see. I have a feeling in the end Adobe might have like a paid version of this where you can use copyrights or something, maybe, I don't know. But for now, it is what it is. It's fun. I'm loving it. I'll try a lot more. I hope you try it as well. Let me know. Message me what you want me to try or what I have tried. You have some questions, do also check some tips and tricks on YouTube and the videos out there that tells you the more technicality of this, because this more or less is Photoshop and I'm not that good at Photoshop. Either way, I hope you liked the video. I hope you learned something. Let me know your thoughts, and as always, click the thumbs up and help me share with everyone, and also subscribe to my channel, The NCHANZPLACE, so we'll do this more often. See you in the next video.